People listen politely until the moment they no longer need you. Then the tone changes, replies slow, doors stay half open. Your opinion becomes optional. Most people think influence disappears because they lost confidence. More often, it disappears because they stopped being tied to anything people are trying to protect, preserve, or complete. That is where power usually lives, inside incentives, not impressions. Dependence is one of the quietest forms of power. Not emotional dependence, not drama, not making yourself artificially central. Real dependence means your presence is linked to something other people value. Continuity, clarity, access, speed, risk reduction, trust, results. That changes behaviour. When people rely on you for something they do not want to lose, they begin to protect the relationship differently. They return your calls faster. They consult you earlier. They become more careful with terms, not because they admire you, but because removing you now creates cost. This is why power is often misunderstood. People focus on image, tone, and visible authority. Those matter. But beneath them sits a harder layer. Who is useful, and at what price to replace? The room does not only respond to personality, it responds to incentive structure. People defend what their incentives are tied to. If your role is ornamental, your influence stays fragile. If your role quietly holds together something that matters, your position becomes harder to ignore. You are working with a small team on something messy. Deadlines moving, information scattered, everyone slightly overloaded. At first, you try to be agreeable. You help where you can. You stay available. You make good suggestions. People appreciate you, but nothing really changes. You are present, not necessary. Then over time, one thing starts running through you. You become the person who keeps the live version clean. You know where the decision trail sits, what changed, what is still exposed, and what will break if the next move is rushed. Nothing glamorous, just continuity. Now watch what happens. People start checking with you before acting. They loop you in earlier. They do not want to create confusion, because confusion now has a visible price. Your influence did not rise because you spoke louder. It rose because you became attached to a function others rely on. That is what many people miss. Dependence does not begin in conflict. It begins in usefulness. Long before a negotiation, long before a disagreement, the structure is already teaching people how careful they need to be with you. If you want cleaner leverage, stop asking how to seem important. Ask what real friction you can remove so consistently that your absence becomes expensive. Map one dependency you already hold. That means one concrete thing others rely on you for. Information, sequence, follow-through, access, quality control, translation, continuity. Then strengthen it. Make it cleaner, more reliable, and more visible in its effect. Do not chase admiration. Build reliance. Do not perform value. Create cost of absence. Power is not always loud. Often it sits inside the quiet question every group keeps asking. What can we not afford to lose? Become part of that answer, and behaviour changes around you. That's the principle. Now go practice.